Welcome back to the Mason channel where we learn about the Mason faith and its doctrine. And today that we are learning about the magical types in that and the magic practices of Masons. We have 5 magical practices, and each one will receive its own a video, and at the end will be the conclusion of the playlist of the Masters and Pantheon, and then another playlist will start after that, which I will tell you about when we get there. Alright, we are now entering into the magic part of the Pantheon. Now, magic is a full standalone thing and is not necessarily a need in a religion. Non-religion people can use magic per nectar, those who don't specify there was a specific religion. I know there are people out there that don't usually do that or don't usually identify with a specific religion, and they still practice magic. They still do magical practices and that. It is a force of energy and power by using various different methods of accessing that energy. Today we will be looking into how Masson does this and the main ways of practice that we in this religion use. Just note that this is just our way and not the full way or the only right way of doing these practices, and that there are many other different ways of doing these practices and accessing these different types of energy and that. This video is just to show you on how the Mason ways usually use it as and that and such stuff. Our first magic practice that we have is blood magic. What is blood magic in Masson? Now, historically, it is one of the oldest forms of magic and ritual workings known, going in thousands of years ago into various different religions, offering of animal blood and one's own blood for blessings and to communicate with gods and or other entities and spirits alike. And that. Such as with the Mesopotamian high priests, the Egyptian mages, Odysseus in the Greek religions and that to summon the dead, and Roman pagan rituals though, which revolved a lot with blood rites and blood ritual workings and that. It is a practice that was considered to hold sway over life force, and misuse of the power was seen as dangerous or taboo, and later down the line was seen as demonic when Christianity became a recognized religion and such stuff. Now in Marxism, we see it as a way of power, of self-power and power over one's avatar, and seen as a way of making pacts, seals, tributes, and as a payment towards a lord or a god. And such stuff. So that's on how we see it, and such stuff. Your avatar is your body, your vessel. That's what we refer to our fleshly meat suits in that, but I feel that that's a little bit downgrading it, and that that's why we like to use the word avatar and that, your fleshly domain, your fleshly body, and that we call that an avatar and that. A lord, just going to describe to you what we mean by lord and that. A lord is what most Western and Christian-like religions will see as demons or demonic entities, but we use the word lord towards a higher spirit entity who has say over legions and partakes in aiding us in multiple things in exchange for offerings, which can lead to pacts, a contract like covenant that aligns you and said Lord in a agreement to obtain something which makes it a temporary or to constantly help you in your spiritual journey, which this makes it a full binding blood pact. So that's what uh, you can do in blood magic and that. And that is what we consider a lord. So like, um, for example, Lord Azazel, done that. Not only blood oaths are usually given to gods as they are much more stronger and more powerful beings. So one swears a oath of blood to work, honor, serve, worship, and learn from them, or for them to be the witch or the mage's patron god, so that when they die, they head into the heavenly kingdom or underworld kingdom and that. Blood magic is also used as healing, summoning, binding, and yes, it can also be used with hexes. And there are blood rituals and rites used for to declare things done that's a little bit of blood definition and that for like visions and all that nonsense. And but it's usually a lot to like describe an act and such, so you can't really like fit everything into one video and that. But in the comments, if you want those to be videos and that, let me know so that if you want them, I'll make them for you. How does a magicist practice it? How do they practice blood magic? For us, blood magic is rooted in the methods of the blood mages from Egypt and its ancient ways turned into a more modern like style for safe practice and rites to be performed in a arcanic and religious viewpoint. These are some of the things found in masters and blood magic ways and that. So these are just some of the viewpoints and the ways that we have that within the practice. Number one, blood is sacred and is the life force of your avatar and should not be discarded as useless stone. So don't usually discard your blood, your life force as useless stone because it's not. Number two, when making a pact with a lordling spirit or any entity, one should always be clear of one's intentions and desires and that of the lords as well, and should always use one's own blood and not the blood of another. So when you're making a pact, then you need to be clear of why you want to make this pact, and you need to be clear of that entity's intentions and make sure that it's the correct entity that you want to make the pact with and that such stuff. Okay, so when you invoke one, don't just willy-nilly go and then bam bam make one. Though you usually do a few invocation spells, invocation rituals, doing that, invite the energy in, doing that, and such, and then from there you can like make a pact with it. And remember to always use your own blood and not the blood of another person down that because that's just wrong. Number three, all life is holy and all death is holy. For one to steal the blood from an avatar alive or dead with no formal permission or notice to said being is unholy, as one must always make it known what blood is needed for and how much shall be needed, and that. So this we take this very seriously, and and within this practice, when you want to use someone's blood and for like they ask you need it for blessing and you don't um, have the correct spiritual blood type in that, so you ask your friend because they are also a master and so you letting them know that what you need their blood for, how much is needed, and what type of ritual you're using it for, and that such stuff. And it's the same though. You with us, we say you usually have to invoke the spirit of the or one who had that avatar and ask them if you wish to use their dead blood for something and that for a specific ritual and such stuff. And it's not, you need their permission and such stuff and that. So in other words, though, don't necessarily be a arse about it and that. Let them know. Number 4. The blood spilled in times of war is the right of the war gods and lords. No witch or mage or knight may take the blood from the earth or land, as it is a gift of honor towards to the gods of war, whomever they may be, and on either side, which means that times for war, that those who have died in the war, you cannot take or steal their blood at all, and that because it's a tribute to the war gods, and you must honor those who have properly passed in times of war. Number 5. There are several types of blood, and one should understand what they represent on a spiritual note and on a sacred note as well. On that, such. Number 6. The blood laws of the faith must be upheld within this practice at all times. If one disobeys them, one is at risk of being shunned out, a close call to being branded as a maleficaro. The blood laws, though, is usually presented within the letters of blood of the Black Angel. It's usually done in the section of the rights and that. You look there, and there will be the blood laws listed. They are just placed there though for formal family disputes and that and such stuff. So there's no issues within our community and clashes done that such stuff, because we don't usually do like infighting or like people spreading issues or fear within the community. What type of spells does one cast with blood magic? Blood magic usually focuses on summonings and pacts. However, it can be used with herbs and other items to be in healing spells or in enchantments, but this is when one enters into the hex part and making cursed objects. That holds a type of energy or even a spirit with it that acts as a curse itself though. So binding a spirit using that spirit's past avatar's blood to make a cursed object and such stuff. And it can be used in healing, in enchantments, in blessings, and summonings and pacts and all that. Though the object does not need to be cursed, one can even use blood magic to make a blood lock or a blood charm slash ward, so that one can keep a certain place or item safe from people, or people safe from it. And that a blood lock or charm slash ward is a spell that does not let anyone else who doesn't have the family blood or ties to the caster in terms of being blood related to open, destroy, use, crossover, walk into, stay, or simply touch what the spell has been casted on by the witch or mage that has casted it. So that is usually a spell of like protection and that or warding and that to keep people from entering a dangerous zone or using a dangerous object and that in spiritual terms and arcanic ways. Blood magic is very powerful and strong and must be studied and used wisely and not be messed with or taken lightly. The warnings and dangers of using blood magic. I'll end it with this because most people don't take it seriously or talk about or you know, and talk about the benefits of blood magic and that, but they don't talk about the issues and dangers with using blood magic. Number one, blood magic has a heavy point in sacrifice and usage of blood. So when trying to extract it, please be sure to disinfect and clean all types of ritual tools such as daggers, needles, blades, and any such objects. A small prick on the finger is all that is needed, and that is no need for extreme dangerous openings and such stuff, or wounds just usually a prick on the finger that is the best thing done. Number two, if anyone you know who wants to use this practice and talks about full-on sacrifice of another individual for a ritual or spell, and they show signs of wanting to harm that person or plans to, please inform some form of authority figures or personnel or type of law enforcement, or even warn that said person that their life is in danger and that give them a heads up and such. There is no need to go to those types of extreme stuff and that. Number three, always make sure to inform your friends of the blood ritual and what it is for, and the lords or spirits that you wish to summon. And if they opt out and say no and don't want to be a part of it, they have the right to be to do so, and you can't really force them, and you shouldn't really force them in that, because they have the right to say no, I don't want to be a part of this and that and those who are taking part of it, let them know as to what the ritual's for, what type of spirits or lords you're summoning and that and how much blood is technically needed for the said ritual or spell work. Number four, if anyone is using this practice to mask self-harm and you have proof of it, please encourage them to seek professional help and that, please, because there are incidents like that where they will use this practice and use it to mask their self-harm issues and that such stuff. The Inquisition of the Disciples of the Black Angel really takes mental health very, very seriously. It's not a joke, and it's not something to um, like take lightly, it is a serious matter, so if you know people, know persons doing that, try your very best to help them, and if you can't, uh, you know, try to seek help for them, and always consult a professional in that, such stuff. So there's been the video of blood magic and that. It, yeah, it is a little bit dull, grim, but yeah, and that. So remember, it is very powerful practice, and that. Yes, there are lots of benefits to it, and that. But there are also warnings and dangers in that, and such stuff. So make sure that you study and practice it safely and such. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video in that with our next type of magic practice in that.